Okay, so there's a huge discussion around how to fuel innovation in Australia these days. Basically, catch us up to the rest of the world, to Silicon Valley and Tel Aviv that are making all these jobs, and the rest of the world's all doing it. So the government and the opposition have created a bipartisan innovation document strategy policy, and they're naming it ideasboom, which is kind of funny considering the mining boom we didn't make use of. And so there's $1 billion of investment on the line, and probably more cash grants and stuff to come later. But it just means that everyone's positioning themselves and their own definition of innovation to prove that they're worthy of the grants. So it just means all the arguments boil down to spokespersons pulling out analogies and keywords to try and hook people to explain that their way of innovating is the ideal way. It's like universities versus startups versus politics. Anyway, so just to throw my own rhetoric into the mix, I think innovation kind of occurs, at the actual edges of creativity, of two completely different opposites mixing, and you can't design that. I mean, individually, humans aren't very intelligent. We aren't very, we're primates. The only way we actually create innovation and creativity is by combining two ideas that already exist to make something new. And if that fundamental is true, then it means that our society is not structured to innovate, because we sit in data silos, within thought silos, industry silos, company silos, education silos. I mean, throughout primary school and high school, we're all taught at the same pace and pretty much the exact same things. So we're going to come out thinking the exact same, pretty much. Then we're funneled into a single university degree, which ends up getting us a single job at a single company within a single industry, and we don't talk to other industries, we don't talk to other people outside our industry. If you give a university money to innovate, all they're going to do is open up a new building and build a new lab and say, look, we've now got the capacity to innovate. If you give a company money to innovate, they're just going to hire more people. I think at a fundamental level, our society is still structured to basically create factory workers. It's a relic from the industrial era. We spit out specialised workers who then just think specialised things. So this is where I think true innovation breakthroughs actually happen, is the convergence of technologies. So imagine combining biohacking and marketing, or 3D printing and some other random thing. I think the traditional 9-to-5 job is probably the greatest barrier to innovation and progress humanity has right now, but no one questions it because it's so ingrained in society. It's what you do, it's what you train for. If you're working 40 hours a week in one company, in one office, in one job role, your brain is mush. Seriously, your brain is mush, because you're not thinking outside of that bubble. Then adding to that, we also know that innovation kind of occurs from the bottom up. It's something that just emerged. You can't design it from the top down. And yet we kind of give money on a very top down basis. So there's a concept called universal basic income. Look it up. Basically, you give everyone, regardless of income status or whatever, you give them the same amount so they can basically live off, so pay rent, food, clothing, necessities. And something like that would allow everyone to just completely quit their job. If they're in a bullshit job they hate, they can quit it and just go and pursue their passion, because they'll have enough to live off. They won't have to worry about finding the next job just to feed themselves. So if you're looking for the most innovative government policy, that's it. Just give everyone a universal basic income, and they'll have the freedom and the time to think about different ideas and pursue their own passions individually. In a society with basic income, you wouldn't need to have universities structuring and funneling people down job roles. Universities could become these free-form, open co-working hacker spaces where you really self-learn. You also wouldn't need to rely on angel investors, like the startup VC scene, who typically only invest in things that they see a return on, so they're only investing in stuff that's going to make money, which isn't terribly innovative. Because if everyone's paid a basic income, I don't need funding to be able to hire people. I can just bring them on board as co-founders, and we can work for as long as we want and not need to pay each other. It'd be awesome. So anyway, there's my rant on innovation. It needs to be more bottom-up, more emergent, less top-down, end jobs, end universities, and just have more free time so people can actually explore and merge ideas.